Hello VC, what's going on? It's me, Will, and I'm back with a new video, and this is going to be my standard the new music update video, which I think I'm going to have to split into a couple of separate videos just to not make them too long, because I've been getting a lot of really cool new records and CDs in the last few months. And first of all, sorry I haven't been around very much lately. I've just been super busy with just life in general and going to a lot of concerts and music festivals. It seems like all the cool bands are back at it again, finally going back on tour. And also all the music festivals are back again too. So that's been really cool and fun. And just a few weeks ago, I ended up catching COVID. It seemed like I was able to avoid it for the 2 years of the pandemic. But finally I got it, probably at a concert, unfortunately. But anyways, I'm back again. I'm okay now. But I will say, COVID's still out there, so be careful out there. Get vaccinated, get a mask if you need to. So just take care of yourself and just be careful out there. So yeah, I'm back now. I've been buying a lot of records, so this is gonna be my new music update video. Lots of really cool records to check out, so let's go ahead and get started. This is my first pickup. I pre-ordered this one last year. This is the new record, or the debut album from Wet Leg, the British band, new British band that came out with their first record. Highly anticipated for me. This one's self-titled, and it came out just a few months ago in 2022 on Domino Records. I pre-ordered this one as soon as I heard the very first single of the album, Chase Lounge, on satellite radio. I listened to it and I told myself I have to pick this one up. Right up my alley, very catchy, very melodic indie rock, great vocals, great guitars on this one. So I decided to pre-order this one, of course. And since I pre-ordered this one, I ended up getting the clear vinyl version of the record, which is the Wet Leg labels. And the pre-order also came in with an extra 7-inch. Just came in on this cardboard sleeve. And I think that this one just came in on standard black vinyl, or should I say glorious black vinyl. There it is. Just a couple of extra tracks that didn't make it to the record. And the vinyl itself came in with an inner booklet, I guess, some Polaroid photos on both sides and words. So yeah, Wet Leg, fairly new band from the UK. Again, as soon as I heard the first single of this record, I was hooked. Later they released a few more singles from this record, and they were also all really great. Very catchy and clever lyrics, I would say, in this record. They have a great sense of humor as well. But I gotta say, the more songs they released before the full release of the record, the more I said this is gonna be the best album of the year. And I do like the record a lot, but I gotta say that there are a few filler songs in the record. There's a few songs that are not really that great. But anyways, I highly recommend it. Most of the songs here are really, really awesome, so check them out again. Debut album from Wet Leg, very young band from the UK. This is their self-titled record from Domino Recordings.
I give up. Now I don't want you to want me. I need to.
I also picked up a 7-inch, split 7-inch. This one's What's the Furthest Place From Here? A 7-inch series featuring Screaming Females and Warriors. Two of my favorite fairly new bands, fairly new punk bands. Here's the back. And this came in as part of a series of comic books called What's the Furthest Place From Here? And you have to order the comic book to get the 7-inch, and the 7-inch came in also on clear vinyl, the custom labels. So you get one song from the Screaming Females on side A, and one song from Warriors on side B of the 7-inch, and they're both cover songs. The song by Screaming Females is On the Radio, original by The Selector, and the song by Warriors is That's How I Escape My Certain Fate, original by Mission to Burma. I think the version from or the song by Warriors is much better than the one, the Screaming Females. I think the original by The Selector was a little bit maybe too ska for a band like the Screaming Females. But the one that Warriors chose for this one is a much better fit, I think. Great track. I think both are good, but the one by Warriors I think was better. Alright, up next, I ended up going to the Atlanta record show just a few months ago. I think it was back in April. And then ended up picking up one full-length album and 4 CDs. So these are the ones that I picked up. This one has been a grail of mine for many years. X with Los Angeles. And I found it for a surprisingly really good price, only $20. It's not an original, it's probably one of the early represses of Los Angeles, but I gladly paid the $20 for this one. Classic punk rock album. I think everybody knows this one, and I don't think it came in with any insert. Maybe that's why it was so cheap, relatively cheap, but it came in on black vinyl with the slash labels. Not much to say this one. I think it's a classic, everybody knows it. Some of my favorites from here are, of course, the very opening track in this one. Your phone's off the hook, but you're not. I love that one. And of course, the first song on side 2, Los Angeles. Classic track from X. And I'm slowly building up my X collection on vinyl. So this one was definitely a must-have. So also at the record show, I ended up picking up a few CDs. There's always a vendor that goes to these record shows that always has a lot of brand new releases on CD for really affordable prices. So whenever I see him, I always pick up a bunch of CDs. And if you buy multiple ones, you ended up getting a better deal as well. So this is one of the ones that I picked up from that vendor. This is Slothrust with Parallel Timeline. And this one came out just last year in 2021 on Dangerbird Records. This one came in on a gatefold. And I discovered this band a few years ago when they played at the Shaky Knees Music Festival. And I was hooked after them. I followed them on Instagram. And I did see that they released this record last year, but for some reason I wasn't able to buy it or to find it. So I missed out on it until now. And that's too bad I missed out last year because it's an excellent record. The singer has a very unique voice that I'm not sure how to describe it, but she does have a little bit of that Tracy Chapman kind of vibe on her voice. And the guitars, classic indie rock guitars, great melodies on this one too. Highly recommended. Again, Slothrust with Parallel Timeline. Alright, the next CD that I picked up at the record fair was this one. This one is a more of a popular one out there. Wilco with Star Wars, and this one came out back in 2015 on Anti Records. And I've never been a huge Wilco fan. I've always liked them, but I never really got a chance to buy their records or their CDs or their albums. But when I saw it at the record fair for a really good price, I decided to pick it up. It wasn't until a few years ago when I saw them live with Sleater-Kinney that I really got into them. So I decided to pick this one up. I think a lot of people know about Wilco's music. Very catchy indie rock as well. But my favorite thing about this album and about Wilco's music in general is the whole texture that they put in their music, in the instrumental part of their music. There's something about it, about the textures on the guitars that really get me into their music. That's the thing that I like the most about this record. And I'm probably going to try to find some of the other Wilco records and to add it to my collection, probably on CD because they're more affordable. But anyways, I really like this one, again, Star Wars by Wilco, and my favorite on this record is the song called Random Name Generator. Alright, and another CD that I picked up at the record fair was this one, Middle Kids, with their second album called Today We're the Greatest, and it came out just last year in 2021 on Domino Records. Again, the second studio album by the Australian band. I saw them live a few years ago and I started to follow them, and I did listen to this record last year, and I thought it was really good, but for some reason I didn't pick it up until now. Great vocals from the Australian band, great guitars, great melodies as usual. Very reminiscent to the music of other indie rock artists like Camp Cope and Hop Along and Best Coast. So if you like those bands, you probably will like Middle Kids as well. My favorite track on this one is a song called Cellophane, which is a track where the singer in the band really puts out there all her musical chops. Great track, but overall the record is really excellent too. So check it out, again, Middle Kids with Today We're the Greatest. Alright, then last but not least, I also picked up this one on the record fair. This is Marky Ramone with Start of the Century. And this is a compilation album by, of course, Marky Ramone of the Ramones. And it came out in 2006 on Feel Records. I have never seen this one before, and being a Ramones fan, I had to pick it up. It's a compilation album from Marky and his band. Apparently, he wrote a bunch of songs before the Ramones broke up and after the Ramones broke up. And some of those songs made it into the Ramones albums. Most of them didn't. So he decided to record them with his own band. And he explains all that in the credits of the CD. And it's a double disc. The first disc has 29 of those songs, pretty much the entire catalog from Marky Ramone. And disc 2 has a live CD or a live album of him playing the Ramones classic songs live. Interesting release. Again, I haven't seen it before. I thought it was okay. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I think the singers in his band, they sing in that kind of like a traditional vocals that were very popular back in the mid to late 90s. Very kind of like a nasally voice, which I thought it was just too different compared to the style of singing from someone like Joey Ramone, for example. And actually only one song from this record, a song called Anxiety, that he wrote, did make it to a Ramones record, one of the Ramones 90s record, which of course is much better done by the Ramones because the Ramones had Joey Ramone singing. And in this one, the vocals, I didn't think they were that great. But anyways, it's an interesting release. It's mostly for Ramones super fans like myself. Again, Marky Ramone with Start of the Century. Check it out. The second disc, which has all, this one right here, has all the Ramones classic songs played live by Marky and his band. They're pretty great, especially if you're a fan of the Ramones drumming, which Marky Ramone was a great drummer for the Ramones. So if you're, in case you're a fan, check it out again, Marky Ramone with Start of the Century. Alright VC, so that's all I have for this video. I'm probably gonna try to be back soon with another new music release video because I've been buying a lot of really cool new albums, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.